I'm back! I'm going to review today Doctor Who, The Stones of Blood. It stars Tom Baker as the Doctor, Mary Tamm as the first Romana, and also K9 pops up. So it's them three, great Doctor. Pity about the bloody season though. This is season 16, it's the Key to Time season. So The Stones of Blood was broadcast in 1978. It's a 4-parter and it's special because it marks the 100th story. It was sort of like a bit of an anniversary story in a way.
The cosmic balance so badly that the entire universe is in danger of eternal chaos.
Have I got a treat in store for you, Romana?
They were originally going to have the Doctor have a birthday cake in the story to mark the 100th story of Doctor Who. Bloody good job they didn't. Would have looked bloody ridiculous. I used to regard this story as a good one. Sort of like it's in a bad season. I thought the other 5 stories were crap really, but this one was the only good one till I rewatched it. It has good points though, it's not all bad, there's good points and bad points about it. The setting's pretty creepy, it's set on Earth, well half of the story's set on Earth, the other half's on a bloody spaceship. But the parts set on Earth are really good, sort of like Stonehenge sort of setting. There's these big stones, there's a cult that are doing blood sacrifices to the stones. And they worship this being called the Kaliak. There's quite a few eerie moments as well because you see lots of blood getting splashed on the stones. So that was quite intense for like a family TV programme. There's a good character who the Doctor teams up with. It's this old woman who she's got a good personality. She's like a scientist as well. And she's investigating the stones and she tells the doctors what's going on about this cult. The plot's really weird. The Doctor finds out who the Kaliak is. It's this other scientist woman. And she turns strange because she goes onto the spaceship. For some reason she turns like silver makeup on, I don't know why. It's weird as well because the second half of the story with it being on a spaceship, a lot of it's to do with the Doctor's kind of on trial for his life. And there's the same way he puts his bloody judge's wig on. It's ridiculous. Hey, Tom Baker, he was soft as bloody shit in that story. And there's these lights, these light machines that are flying around in the sky that are doing this trial, and it's really wacky. There's some strange moments in this bloody story, I tell you. Most of the last episodes just sort of like a court trial. Is it Doctor Who or fucking Crown Court? Eventually they find out who the Kaliak is and she gets killed, and that's the end of the story. Like I say, there's some good moments in this story though, especially like episode 3. There's a very good scene where these two campers, this man and a woman, are camping and they get attacked by the stones. There's an excellent scene where the female touches the stone with her hand and her hand turns into like a skeleton and she's screaming her head off. It's really effective. And then the screen fades to red because it symbolises the stones are wanting blood. So this couple get killed and it's really strong actually. It's the best bit of the story. There wasn't more scenes like that, but it's really effective. Sort of like something you'd see in a horror film, like a Hammer horror film. But instead it's in a Doctor Who story. How the bloody hell do them stones move? Around bloody Wales? Tom's not really on form. All throughout this season, Key to Time season, Tom's not as good. It's strange that his performance is off. He still has like the odd moment where he's serious, but most of the time he's like a bit too whimsical. The trouble with Tom's humour is the visual gags don't really work as well as dialogue humour. So like visual gags, he's put like a judge's wig on. There's a scene where he's doing some bullfighting with a stone. Things like that, they don't work. I wonder if he had ad-libbed them to get them into the story, because he was kind of getting a bit too domineering at the time. It's a shame, because Tom's excellent. The next season, like, there's a story called City of Death, where the humour's excellent because it's dialogue humour, like witty one-liners and stuff. But when it's silly visual gags, it's like a bit childish and it doesn't work as well. He is good when he's on screen with old woman. Like, they're funny, them two, when they're together. Also in the story, like Mary Tamm, she's alright as Romana, but I've always preferred the second Romana, Lala Ward. I always thought she was a lot better, like more character somehow. There's a strange cliffhanger in episode 1. It's literally a cliffhanger where Romana's hanging on the cliff. She's being pushed off. She's hanging on the cliff, and that's when the episode 1 ends. So it's like a proper cliffhanger in there. This story could have been so much better. There's like a scene where Tom's crouched down and he's examining a body and he sees the skull's being smashed to pulp. Like little scary bits like that. It should have been more like that. Far too much humour in this story. It's all throughout that season. It's a misfire, that season. It's only bad season of Tom Baker's era though. Like, I love the other 6. Apart from this, it's terrible. It's interesting that K9's in a lot as well in this story. Usually he gets like pushed to one side. But you see quite a lot of K9 in this story, which is a pity. The Tom Baker era, it's a strange era. It's kind of split into 3 sections with the 3 different producers. The first 3 years was Philip Hinchcliffe, and he definitely made the best stories because it was kind of hammer horror, like horror film related. The stories were ideas from horror films. Then the second era is the Graham Williams era. It had to be toned down because Mary Whitehouse was complaining about the era being too scary. So he toned it down a bit and he injected lots of humour. The Graham Williams era is more focused on sort of like literature. That's where it gets its stories from. The very last year of Tom Baker, it was John Nathan Turner that took over, and he toned Tom's performance right down, made him more serious again, and a lot of these stories are sort of like more scientific based, so there was a bit more realism to the Nathan Turner era, especially when he first started anyway. So it's strange that, but it's good. I like the Tom Baker era because there's like different sections to it. So anyway, what would I think about this story overall? Well, the parts set on Earth are better than the parts set on the spaceship. So it's strange. I have seen a lot worse, but I've also seen a lot better. So with this, out of 10, I think I'd probably give it about a 5. 5 out of 10. It is. I was really disappointed watching it. I thought this would be a good one, but it wasn't. What did you think, Bones? Did you like it?
Looking out, Phil. Was Tom Baker bloody drunk when he was making that bloody story?
Okay, everybody, bye. See you next time. Subscribe. Bye.